So we're not going to do a full tear down. This carburetor is in real good shape. We'll clean out the bowl, and we're going to clean out the idle circuit. This adjuster cannot be taken out. Notice the tab on it. You'll almost always break this if you try and remove this. So we're going to leave that alone. And down inside there, very difficult to see, is a small hole that goes through. It's part of the idle circuit. See that screw? It lines up, goes into here, which allows the engine to idle through the jet here. We'll see if we can take the jet out. I'm going to be very careful about it. If we can get it out, we'll clean it, and we'll clean the emulsion tube while we're there, just to make sure all the fine holes in the emulsion tube are not plugged up. Now, sometimes you'll run into a problem like this. You're out of threads, but if it appears to be loose, which mine does, looking at the end of it, it's not going any further, we'll just give it a little tap. She's coming out. Every once in a while you might have to put a pick in there just to catch the threads to help it come out. That'll give the threads something to turn against. And as you can see, it's now coming out the rest of the way. So we'll make sure that this is cleaned out, and we'll see if we can gently reach in there. If you can see, the emulsion tube is right there. We'll see if we can push that down and pop it out. And if we can't, no worry, we'll leave it alone. Now, she appears to be kind of stuck. We'll leave that for right now. Now, you can get a piece of speaker wire, something real thin. You can go down in there. I use torch tip cleaners. Get them in the welding section at your big box stores. We'll just try and find a welding tip that is close to the right size. Feel around in there if we can. Go in there and see if we can clean any junk out, and then we'll get a little carburetor cleaner and spray that in there. Okay, so I've blown that out with some carburetor cleaner. I've also used torch tip cleaner to get down in there and clean it. Be careful with the torch tip cleaners. They've got these ribbed edges and they will open up the hole. Get down here to your jet, check your jet out. Make sure your jet's clean. It's usually one of the smallest two-tip cleaners. Make sure you can blow up through your emulsion tube. Now we'll just put her all back together and see if this solved our idle issue. Sometimes they'll come back, sometimes they won't. Just depends on the age of the machine, how long it's been run like that, and how much crud has actually been put into it. When you go to tighten this jet down inside, do not tighten it down real tight. You'll feel it stop. Just give it a little nudge past that. Snug that up. Go ahead and put our engine idle screw in. I like to put my finger on it, tighten it down until I feel it stop. Right there, and then give it about half, one, half, two, about 2 turns. We'll put our needle valve back on our float, set that down inside, and put our float pin back in. Then we'll just take a little carburetor cleaner and clean out the bowl. Okay, we've got our bowl cleaned out. That is not dirt inside there, that's just some staining. And we'll place that, what do we say, oh, probably about right there where that drain is. Put our bowl nut back on. In a moment I'll show you how to put the carburetor back together on the engine. 10 millimeter, we'll tighten it down. Now if this doesn't cure the surging problem, you've got a couple other alternatives. If you have an ultrasonic cleaner, you can take the carburetor off, put it in an ultrasonic cleaner for a while. Or relatively inexpensive, you can just buy another. Let's put this thing back together. So now's the part where you need about 3 hands, because you need to hook all of this up. I'm going to put you in the tripod. See if you've got a decent view there. First thing we're going to do is get our linkages together. Get in here and get our spring hooked up. Once we get this in place, got our linkages hooked up, we're going to hook up our fuel line. You can do it afterwards, but it's really hard to get to. Oh, I dislike these spring clips. Then we go and we mount our carburetor. Gonna get our air cleaner cover. We'll go ahead and put these 2 long bolts through it. Then we will line up the long bolts through here. Lift that up. Line our carburetor up. Go ahead and push your bolts through. Then we will line this up. I don't think you guys can see. Let me move you over here. Get our bolts through there. Get our breather tube. And we will hook it up and get some needle nose pliers to the back of our air cleaner base. It's a tight fit, but it's not bad. After that, we line our bolts up and get them started. And we tighten them on. Let me get a ratchet and an extension. I'll take these things off with a impact, but I won't put them on with an impact. We'll get them on here, we'll get them snugged. Then we'll get that bolt and this one installed. Okay, we slap the air cleaner back in. Make sure the two tabs down below get hooked. That gets closed. We'll turn our fuel on, let our float bowl start filling up, and we'll just look everything over. Make sure it's good to go. We'll put our spark plug back on. We'll get it off the bench and we'll give it a run. Let's set you up and let's see if this thing stops surging. Well, it's a lot better than it was. It was surging a lot worse than that. I still might go ahead and replace the carburetor. If I do, I'm not going to show a video on it because I just showed you how to take it off and put it back on. So hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming along as I'm working on junk like this. Got any comments, questions, concerns, criticisms? Put them down in the comment box. I'd love to hear it. Other than that, stay safe, be careful. See you on the next video.